Time 2016 number one. My name is James Stowe, and with me is...
Bill Morris.
Arc Monolux.
And we're going to be sketching today, epically, for a determined amount of time. I am working on a map. That I've been fiddling around with for a while now.
Still, get additional people saying that they'd be coming in, or will it just be the three?
I've sent out an invite to Stan and Patrick. Hopefully we will see both of them. They both said that they would be coming, so...
Well, there's...
Yeah, did you not hear any of that?
You blanked out in mid-phrase on "I sent out."
Oh, I sent out invites to Stan Brown and Patrick.
Well, I heard you when you said that, so...
Oh, you did? Oh,
I did. So it might have been just Bill's computer.
All right.
I'm sure
I don't trust my connection anymore. It's been terrible the past couple weeks.
Well, the problem I thought I was having with Photoshop turned out to be not a problem with Photoshop, but a problem with my monitors. In so much as when I was split screening them like I am now, I had dragged my levels tool palette over into one of my other screens, and so when I was just in one screen and had the tablet off, and I couldn't access the palette, of course my controls were graying out because they wanted me to hit the return on the palette or whatever the pop-up was. So
Sure. And you couldn't see that dialogue?
no, because I didn't have the monitor on.
Sure.
So live and learn. I'm thinking that this moss-covered sea creature might be a little too limey looking, but it's a black and white film, so it's kind of hard to tell.
Let's see, I'm not seeing the image. Did you say limey or liney?
Limey, L-I-M.
Oh, slime. Oh, limey is in the fruit, right?
Yes. I think
It's
you look a little darker, a little more mossier looking. Looks like we got Patrick.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Everybody's really quiet tonight. Yeah. Must be hard at work.
A little.
So how was everyone's New Year?
Pretty good. I had dim sum at a friend's party for the morning, and then joined him for Shabbat in the evening, and did the go see fireworks at the Needle thing for the evening before, or morning before, technically. I had some halfway decent footage of it. I would have gotten better footage, but I unfortunately realized halfway through that I forgot to press the little red button.
Oh.
But at least I got the finale, and everybody favorited my Facebook shot of it.
Yes, it was a very nice shot of the finale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it because it's sort of like it feels like I'm participating rather than going and watching it on television.
I started off the evening with my wife with the best of intentions of going to a bunch of concerts at a thing that Tacoma has called First Night.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, her stomach turned on her. So
Yeah. That is one thing I'm jealous of you guys about. It's sort of like back when I lived in Providence, Rhode Island, they had it there, and that was always very nice.
Yeah, I like the First Night celebration. It's definitely a high point. I actually look forward to that, to volunteering at that event every year.
So did you catch the post on how much we made at the event?
I did, yes.
Now, did you park at the Freight House Square and then come up?
I did not know. I just parked on the street.
So you were able to get street parking.
I was indeed. You betcha.
I always park down at Freight House and then take the tram up.
Oh yeah? Does that work out?
It works really well.
I bet.
A lot of people do it. That thing is packed with people.
Yeah, yeah. I bet you. I bet you don't spend as much time as I spent looking for parking. That's for sure.
Parking's never an issue for me.
Says the man with the bicycle.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
Patrick, what did you do for New Year's Eve?
Really nothing. Just kind of stayed in. I'm not a big on going anywhere on New Year's Eve, so just a quiet night in.
Now, you don't have kids, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting as my kids get older. This is actually the first night everyone stayed up to midnight. The first night everyone was capable of doing such a thing. So that was pretty cool. But when they were younger, most of my New Year's involved staying in for a quiet evening.
Yeah, my family was we'd go over to like friends of the family's house and play board games and random things and stay up until midnight and go outside and rattle on pots and pans and whatnot. Uh, but I never, even at, well, I guess I was always at home during college. But even then, like I was never big on partying for New Year's Eve.
Mm.
I mean, it was funny in high school. I technically didn't believe in New Year's. Not that I didn't believe in New Year's, but I regarded it as sort of an arbitrary choice of when the New Year was decided. So that while, yeah, January 1st was the New Year's, it could just as easily be any other day. So for that reason, it was never. So for that reason, it was never that big a deal.
So what's everybody working on tonight?
I'm putting the finishing touches on my Thursday strip.
I'm coloring my Obscure Monster series. This is the creature from the ocean floor. I think it's what it is.
That thing is weird looking.
It is one of those wonderful British horror movies, and we all know how good the British are at creating special effects. It's right up there, with the type of quality you get from the classic Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure this monster suit did not covered with all this, supposedly hair or moss, or it's kind of hard to tell what it is because I think they had to use a crane to get the poor guy in the monster suit out of the water to climb onto the boat because it just looked like he was just really encumbered. Patrick, what are you working on tonight?
I'm working on sketches, just kind of random sketches for my next kind of larger comic book project that I'm working on.
What is your next?
Well, funny you should ask, Jim.
Minds want to know.
It's a mostly all ages kind of traditional story arc, probably like 100-page type comic book. It'll take place in the late 1800s in the New England area, and will be very multicultural in terms of the characters that show up there. So it's not historical. There'll be time travel involved in it, and adventure, comedy, drama, coming of age story, you might say.
Cool.
I'm kind of curious. What are people's reading habits like? Like, I know that Bill will read a lot of comic books. He and I discuss comic books, but you guys ever find time to actually pick up a book when you're not drawing?
I read with my kids. I'm reading Armada with my son right now, which is the next book by the guy who did Ready Player One. It so far seems interesting enough. I liked Ready Player One, so.
I haven't read Ready Player One.
Oh, you haven't? It's really, really good.
I frequently go through a ton of audiobooks when I'm drawing.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I know a lot of people who listen to podcasts too when they're drawing, and I've never really done that either.
It's weird. I mean, audiobooks and some radio shows work just fine, but for some reason, podcasts, it's a touch and go. I mean, a lot of them I can't focus with them, though there's some happily that's not the issue. Welcome to Night Vale, for example.
I have no problems listening to something when I'm inking or when I'm coloring like this. But if I'm creating, if I'm doing the initial sketch, or if I'm trying to write something, I really need quiet for that.
Well, for me, it's a left brain, right brain thing. When I'm writing, it's music, preferably more abstract the better. So generally, jazz and classical.
Oh, I need it completely quiet when I write. Otherwise, I am not writing.
And I frequently find myself in a situation, especially when I'm doing the final put things together for the strip, where it's sort of writing with pictures, if that makes any sense. So it's a...
I've kind of written myself into a conundrum. I originally had plans for a very specific sequence to happen in my comic, and then on like Sunday nights, I decided that I wanted something completely different to happen, and the comic came out Monday.
That's happened to
I
me
have no
before.
idea how to move forward, and all my plotting is out the window. I don't know if you guys have ever done that to yourself, but
Not for the long-term stuff, but yes, I've had a better idea at the last minute where I found myself definitely treading water desperately.
yeah, I've got to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing in the next couple weeks. 'Cause I had it all plotted out, and now I'm not sure what's going to happen.
Yeah. Go.
Does anyone have any New Year's resolutions?
Uh, Generally the usual stuff. Do everything I can to turn this into something that's more than a glorified hobby. So that includes finish the portfolio and get the web page up.
The web page for what?
Professional portfolio.
Oh, are you making your own, or are you using a service?
Uh, my own web page.
Yeah, like your own portfolio page. Because I like Behance. I don't know if you've ever checked them out.
I
They're
wonder.
attached to Adobe.
Huh. No, I had some bad experience with some online portfolios in the past.
I certainly need to update my portfolio and show all the graphic facilitation whiteboard videos that I've been doing, because none of that's actually featured on my website. And what I have on my website is kind of sad in that it's in Flash, and no one looks on. You know, you can't see Flash on your phones anymore.
Right. I made very good progress in the summer, but I think I still need about 5 more pieces, which I really need to get around to finishing.
Bill, have you been looking at the type of plugins? I know that you're using WordPress for your comics. Are you looking at any type of plugins to help you with doing a portfolio?
Yes, and I've been sort of comparison shopping. Unfortunately, the one that I had my eyes on, which is called Classica, has been discontinued, but the same group has made about 3 other ones since then. And, well, themes, I don't know about plugins specific. It's the only one I like. Most of the portfolio pages themes that I've looked at, most of them look like glorified slideshows, which really don't appeal to me.
I tend to get the grass is greener syndrome, where as soon as I pick out and start customizing a WordPress theme, I see someone else's portfolio site, and I'm like, ooh, I like that better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mimic that, and then it's like, oh, I'll start over on mine now.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I've been figuring that if once I get the all the art done, I really should swallow my pride and get some professional help with it.
Bill, tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yes.
Have you made your movie selection yet? Or yet short list?
Well, let's see. At the moment, until I'm unless I think of something better, I'm thinking of doing Dream Child and Heavenly Creatures as a double feature.
I am not placing either one of those.
Dream Child is that one with the Henson doing the special effects about the real life Alice Hargreaves in her later years, and Heavenly Creatures is Peter Jackson's film about those two young girls who committed the murder.
Yeah, that's right. That one looks like it'll be intriguing.
And so a friend thought that they would go together quite well. But let's see, this week I did Marilyn Monroe.
Which movie?
7 Year Itch and Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Jane Russell owns the second one.
It's 8 o'clock.
Now, who's crunching away there?
That would be me.
That ice.
What are you chewing on there, dude?
Sorry, my microphone is too sensitive, I suppose.
And he avoids the question. What wonderful indulgence are you allowing yourself?
Look, let's keep to sketching, gentlemen.
Translation, it's ice.
So I've nearly filled up my quota of aliens for my Alien series.
So remind me, is it one deck aliens, one deck... I'm sorry, not one deck, one suite aliens, one... No, I'm using the wrong word, aren't I?
Deck works fine. I was going to do one deck of obscure horror movie monsters and one deck of obscure movie aliens. And I think that for the foreseeable future, when I'm done with those two series, while I'd like to draw additional series, I also really want to get back in the habit of doing my return of Stickman strips. I might just sit and draw come up with concept pieces.
The makeshift counters were. There was a crowd outside the post office, and a cheer went up.
All right.
So, what book are you listening to?
No, that wasn't actually it. I'm at the moment that was at the moment I'm listening to Terry Pratchett's Jingo, and I was doing a search for stock art of Crowd, and it inadvertently selected a chapter from Going Postal by the same author.
Now, I never saw the BBC. I know that they produced Going Postal in like a mini.
It's extremely disappointing because I mean they chose this really awesome cast for it. I mean, Peter Dance is Charles Dance is the patrician, and the guy who played what I always forget the actual actor's name, Richard something, but he played Jeff in Coupling.
Ah, so he plays the actor Moist, right? And the character Moist.
Yeah, and he's perfect for it. And what makes it annoying is they don't really let him. It's not done in a way that he can really do his thing.
Have you other gentlemen seen the British sitcom series Coupling?
I have not.
I have, and like other TV shows, it's very funny for the first season or two, and then it just goes downhill from there.
That's much as I'm a fan, that's a very accurate assessment.
And oh my God, the American attempt.
Oh God, that
was the worst. It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, I know that I have to contradict you. The worst I've ever seen is the American attempt at Red Dwarf.
Wait. There was an American Red Dwarf?
Yeah, you can. The pilot might still be on YouTube, but I do not recommend it.
I can't even imagine that at all.
They miss every single point. I mean, Lister is white and heroic.
It was the American series attempt at Absolutely Fabulous that I thought was the most bombish.
I was happily unaware of that.
It was abysmal. It went on for about 6 episodes and then it canned it.
The funny thing is, apparently there was a Greek version of Coupling too, which whenever people joke about, mock it, Stephen Moffat will point out that it lasted 5 episodes longer than the American one.
Wasn't American Idol also an import?
Yeah, essentially, I don't know about American Idol specifically, but there's several shows like that. I mean, Big Brother was a South African show.
And I know that the first attempt at The Biggest Loser didn't go over well in the U.S., and that they came back and they rehashed it.
All right, am I back?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I dropped out there for a little bit.
Was it because of that weird scratching noise you?
I don't know. Maybe. I had not heard a scratching noise.
Now, I know you've seen the new Star Wars film. Or Patrick, have you still not seen it?
I still have not seen it.
Oh, come on.
Sorry.
You know, he self-confessed he doesn't get out much. But have you seen The Martian?
No.
Oh.
Patrick,
Yeah.
what was the last movie you went out and saw?
Well, the last movie I physically went out to see was Crimson Peak. And
Was
I
what?
think Crimson Peak, the Del
Oh,
Toro
yeah. Was that
Yeah,
horror
that's the
movie.
one Stu and I wanted to see, but by the time we got out to see it, it was gone.
Yeah, I really wanted to see that. I
And-
love Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, he's great. And before that, the last movie I saw before that was the re-release of Ghostbusters in theaters.
That came out? I thought it was still in pre-production.
No. The original. They re-released the original for like a weekend in the spring. This was a long time ago.
Oh, don't scare me like that. I was genuinely curious about that new one.
No, I mean, to give you an idea, just this past weekend, I caught up watching Mr. Holmes, the movie Mr. Holmes.
That's the one
Well,
with
I
Ian
haven't seen
McKellen.
that. How was it?
Very good, very good. And I saw The Imitation Game.
Oh, yeah, that's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one.
Is that good?
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good film.
And what else did I see? Oh, I finally saw Jurassic World.
Mm.
I have yet to see Jurassic World. So.
That's one I am not particularly curious about.
It's
Well, you're
enjoyable.
scoffing at it and you haven't seen it?
I took several
Dinosaurs don't
12-year-old
have
boys to see it.
feathers.
It is definitely a movie for 12-year-old boys.
Yes.
They loved it.
Now, Stowe, have we mentioned on this podcast, what have you, vlogcast, our wonderful adventure in seeing Victor Frankenstein?
No, I don't believe we have. And it's really not worth mentioning.
I've heard rumors how bad that one is.
That was horrendously bad.
I mean, but just to say, my bar for just true badness in the movie is Night Patrol. Was it? So.
It's pretty stellarly bad. I mean, it's the sexy origin story of Igor.
Sexy and Igor in the same sentence sort of grates.
Yep. Now you know how the viewing experience of the film was.
Now, who here has seen the TV series Penny Dreadful?
Not yet. Heard good things, though.
I saw the first season and just loved it.
What is it about? I mean, I can draw conclusions based on its name. But...
Oh, let's see. It grabs a little bit of everything. Little bit of Frankenstein, little bit of Shelley, little bit of... I think there were going to be werewolves, but there hadn't been any werewolves by the time I got around to it. But the special effects involved were very good. Storyline was compelling. You know, pretty much everything that you would expect from Perils of Pauline. Every episode, slight cliffhanger type thing.
Now, was Perils of Pauline actually film of any sort? I always find having grown up with the Perils of Penelope Pitstop and the Anthill Mob, I find myself being mildly curious about it.
The Perils of Pauline was an ongoing series, just like Buck Rogers was.
Okay.
One terrible mishap after the other for this poor actress. And it sort of like set the whole tone for the genre of what would you even call that genre?
Women in Peril.
But if you were asking, it's more than one film. There's several. I'm trying to remember if that was the actress who had her own movie studio as a result. She was extremely popular. Well, this guy's looking better.
Oh yeah, the shading is really nice on it. I still don't understand its fried egg eyes, but
For some reason, its eyes are big, bulby eyes with bulby pupils on the end. Sort of like double stacked eyes.
mm.
So over the weekend, my wife and I watched this vampire movie called Byzantium.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one.
Oh,
What's it called?
Byzantium.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
It's actually a pretty good. It's a British vampire movie, and
Is that the one about the mother-daughter treat?
yes, that's
Okay.
the one with the mother-daughter. And we were both quite happy with it. It was a fairly new take. Well told. Decent enough special effects. Didn't really have to go that hard into special effects because of the way the storyline was set up.
What is the gist of it?
Vampires are mainly a male society, and a couple hundred years ago, this one gal took advantage of a situation and was able to make herself into a vampire. And then she made her daughter into a vampire because of circumstance. And since then, the Order has been kind of trying to hunt them down to destroy them. But this isn't really apparent on the outset. And were it not for, the scenes of killing, you would think, okay, this is just a teenage girl with fantasies and trying to, make the most of a bad living situation. But they didn't go that route at all. They made it more than obvious that, hey, you got a couple of vampires here. Didn't go with the whole teeth in the mouth vampire, something different. And they were really playing on the fact that of prostitution and how men treat women in general, and just playing that angle up, but not obviously. Well, in a couple cases, fairly obviously, but it just made for a good story arc rather than just, oh, I'm a vampire, I'm running amok, I'm biting people,
Let's go. What was it called?
Byzantium.
I think it came out in 2013 or 2012. I just got through watching a foreign film called Ava, which is all about robots and AI. And it was particularly good. There have been a number of movies from other countries on the subject of robotics. Antonio Banderas was in one not so long ago it was okay. I still haven't seen Ex Machina.
I've seen it. That movie is crazy. That movie does not make you feel good about people. As a
Yeah, I'd heard mixed things.
I classify that movie as it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed watching it, but it was definitely probably like a 15 to 30 page short story that they tried to stretch out into a full-length movie, and it was done mostly okay, but really it's not like I don't know. It was pretty academic in terms of there's nothing new going on with it. So I feel like I don't know.
So it's no AI, you're saying?
Oh God, I actually like that movie. I think it's very misunderstood. AI.
I love AI. AI is a great movie.
Well, people hate it. People
I love that movie.
despise it.
Well,
I think.
I
I
love
wouldn't
that.
say I despise it, but I didn't enjoy it either.
Gentlemen, I'm going to be signing off.
Good
That
night.
time already?
Oh, in a few minutes. I'm going off a little bit early. I haven't had my dinner yet. My wife wasn't able to get it on the table soon enough for me to go in here first. It happens sometimes, so I'm really starving, so that's why I'm going to take off.
All right. Good to see you. See you next week.
See you next week.
It's 8:30.
Gentlemen, I think I'm out of here. It looks like just me and you, Bill, actually. I guess Jim dropped out at some point in time as well.
Okay.
But I'm tired. It's 11:30 where I'm at, and it's time for me to say goodnight. So good night, sir.
Have a good one.
Take care.